Hello! It's an interview with foreign students who study in Novosibirsk State University. Well, where is it? At first, look at the map. Obviously, it's Russia. Oh wow, I stitched the map. It's Novosibirsk Oblast. We're getting closer and closer. Finally, they jumped to academic town which is located in the capital of Siberia, Novosibirsk. And here, for big green pines, you can notice one of the best Russian universities, Novosibirsk State University. Honestly, I wasn't allowed to come inside, but it's okay, outside is good too. And now, meet the students.
Well, here we are back on the hot, muggy streets of New York.
No. Нормально. Все отлично.
My name is Ana Beatriz. I'm from Brazil. I study medicine in NSU.
I am Syed Mohammad Atarzadeh Behbani. I am from Iran. I am studying medicine in Novosibirsk State University.
I'm Mehran Bidoki. I'm also from Iran. I'm studying medicine in NSU too.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Andres Cuellar. I came from Colombia. Right now I'm studying a master's degree in the law faculty of NSU.
Hi, I'm Anik. I'm from Calcutta, India. I'm studying here at NSU in the mathematics and mechanics faculty. I'm studying big data.
We study general medicine. Be here for 6 years. I wanted to be a psychiatrist.
I want to be a cardiologist surgeon. And
I want to be a cardiologist surgeon too.
it is difficult. After all, we are medical students. We have to study.
In my faculty, it's very nice. We study big data analytics and artificial intelligence. It's got a lot of mathematics involved. It's really nice. It's a very interesting field of study, and I'm happy to be here studying that.
It is related with international business law and as well Russian business law. So it's a combination to know how to make business from the legal sphere. Right now it's necessary not only to understand the law of your country, but also the law of other countries to be able to make business in a proper way.
We have practices in the hospital. I was really surprised with how many patients we can see here, because before I came here I thought it was a small part of the city, Akademgorodok, but we have enough patients to see every time we go to the hospital.
I am with you too, so.
They will pay us in practice, but we can't work now because of our visa. At first, this university had a really good rank. Each year the Ministry of Health gives out a list of universities that are approved, and this was one of those universities in Russia.
The course being offered in English is like really nice, but also the international department was like the main point that made me choose here, because in here I had a lot of support. Every time while I'm in here, also every time I need something, they'll always help me. Like for example, when I get sick, they'll like do the best they can to help me.
And also, to get the good education in Russia, you have to study in Russian. Most universities say that you have to have 1 year preparatory course in Russian, then study 6 years in Russian. Here we don't have to waste 1 year. We come here, start in English, and then we learn Russian, and in the third course we start entirely in Russian.
I came across NSU on the internet, and they said that they had internships here. So I came here in Russia, in Novosibirsk in 2017, and I liked the internship here very much, and then I decided, okay, they have a master's program and I might think of joining it. So after I finished my studies in India, my bachelor's degree in India, I came here and I joined the program.
I wanted to study a master's degree, but actually education, for example, in Colombia is not for free. And I read that there are several agreements between Russia and Colombian government. So here as Colombians we have the chance to get a scholarship and study a master's degree for free. At the same time to have the chance, for example, to learn another language and to be in the middle of another culture. So this is why I decided to come to Russia, because it was a huge opportunity for me to change my life and to have a new view about the world. Actually, I chose NSU because of the campus, because being in the forest, like feeling that you're studying in the forest and that you're living in the forest. It gives me some kind of like relaxing environment to develop my like academic projects and at the same time personal projects. Очень трудно. I think that even 4 years is not enough to speak as like a really good Russian.
Actually, my native language is Bengali because I'm from Calcutta, it's part of Bengal. I grew up bilingual actually. I spoke English and Bengali at the same time. I'm trying hard to master the Russian language. It's kind of difficult for me. Picking up the accent is quite difficult. You know, pronouncing the words properly.
You guys speak way faster. It's so fast. I'm like,
Than the grammar, of course.
It's something that takes time to understand. Our grammar systems like with the Spanish and Russian, they are completely different. So we don't have cases.
the падеж.
At the very beginning, it's really hard to like wanting to say something and trying to identify which kind of case you should use to express what you want.
I don't know why you guys you put a different ending in everything. It is so hard because in my language, in Portuguese, we also have the verb also conjugates like ya, on, na. They change the verbs, right? In Portuguese too. But when you're like when you want to, I don't know, like when you wanna say to, you're talking to someone, then you put a different ending. Or when you're going with someone to somewhere, you change it to. It's really hard.
The only thing we have in common are many words because our countries are really close to each other, so we have many words in common, like tormoz, samovar, machine, pelian.
It was a different experience. Like the first time that I came into Russia, I came into the Moscow airport and like I was trying to speak in English and everyone was speaking in Russian and they didn't know any English.
There was no Wi-Fi in the airport. It was awful. And I was just communicating like by
Hand gestures to make them understand.
and pointing at stuff. But the taxi driver was really nice. He helped me a lot and I'm alive, so thanks, taxi driver.
When I arrived to Russia in general, I did not know anything about Russian language.
Oh yeah, I think the simply hi was already really hard for me. Like, it's not a normal hi because in my language it's also really short. Then you come here, it's like здравствуйте. Like, oh my god.
As we have some classes in Russian language and they teach us, so now I know Chuchu.
And also the formality. When you don't know someone, you have to be really formal. Or even when someone is superior, even though you know the person like daily, you have still to have this formality.
This is not official language, but there is something that I do really like of Russian language that is kind of flexible. So you can construct verbs or like to express something in different ways. So we have this verb pить, but you can say пире не да пить or не да перепить. So you can like play somehow with language to express yourself.
Strashny, yes. Strashny. Yes.
Dormitory is very clean and almost new.
It has all the commodities that are needed for us as students. Like we have nice bedrooms.
We have kitchens on every floor. Like every floor has at least 8 kitchens.
In one room there are just 2 students, so it is pretty much calm.
I stay in the foreign students dormitory, which is actually a lot better than the Russian students dormitories, and it has got all the facilities and everything, so it's nice living there.
But in terms, I live in как советское общежитие. So I know what it is like having one shower room for the whole building. But even though like it's not comfortable, but it's interesting, like the whole experience. We don't have dormitories in Colombia, so for me the whole experience is like wow.
Not really. I mean, Russian, I like the soup, salyanka. I like it very much. It's a lovely soup. And coming from India, yeah, first, at the beginning it was a little bit difficult, but now it's all okay.
Yeah, I really like Russian food, especially оливье, also borscht.
I really like Russian food.
Pelmeni.
Each day, yeah, pelmeni especially. Each day we get more fond of it. We cook pelmeni very often, and borscht, shi, blini.
I really like kulibyaka. I don't know why, but I really like it.
Here there are not a lot of fried foods, which is actually good for your health. And coming from India, I had eaten a lot of fried food before, so it was kind of difficult transitioning from fried food to boiled foods.
I think what I don't like here is that there's too much oil in everything.
The taste of Russian food is not, it's not about like a really strong flavor, but still it's really tasty. So I ate grechka almost every day.
The best food of bodybuilders, grechka and chicken breast,
Yes,
cucumber.
that's what I eat actually every day. That's my menu. Here I try for first time znezhok, for example, tvorog also.
Our main meal is like rice, beans, beef, and salad. So I can reproduce that in here. But I don't know, like we don't in Brazil we don't have like in here that you have like borscht. Borscht is a Russian food. Normal Brazilian food I can find.
In general, I think like there are a lot of things to do here in Novosibirsk. Just go to the house of your friends or the room to your friends, like иди в гости. And that's a tradition that it's really nice here in Russia because I think that it links more people.
And I think for most it's just going to cinemas and parties, maybe clubs.
Yes, Academy Gordok is like a really wonderful place. There's the beach, which is like a great place in the summer. There's all you can in the summers you can bicycle around the place.
Or go to the theater. It's something that I do really love here in Novosibirsk. Go to opera or ballet.
Well, there's the gym, like the university gym, where you can go and have a swim. There's a swimming pool over there. You can play games. There's a huge field right next to our dormitory, and you can play all sorts of games there. We play football a lot.
I really miss my friends, and also because in here there's not too many options if you don't speak Russian. Like, for example, if you want to go to the theater, there's one theater in the city that goes movies in English with Russian subtitles because most of them is in Russian.
Because of the cold, they can't have that much outdoor activities here, but indoor activities are good. Like, we have many events in the university and the city center. It's not bad. I mean, comparing to big cities in Russia, it's really lower, but for Novosibirsk it's enough.
Before the summer, we thought the Novosibirsk is not good, but now we go to city and it's a beautiful city. But in general, Academy is more beautiful than the city.
I don't think there's a lot of difference, but yeah, Academy Gordok being a small place and like you know a lot of people here. If I go to the city, I mean, it's just like any other city in Russia. It's this other people, they mind their own business, but here in Academy Gordok you'll find a lot of friendlier people and a lot more helpful people.
I feel in here is really difficult because the city is so far away, like it's almost 1.5 hours by bus, I think.
No, it's not really difficult. I mean, mathematics has been my passion so far, so it's not really difficult for me to pick up the concepts and everything that's taught here. Everything is in English here, so it's an English taught program, so it's great actually.
The rest of it, I really like the people, I really like the environment, and I thought Russians would be way like rude because that's the stereotype, but that's totally not true. Like actually they're really nice, like really nice.
I will say that the most complicated aspect of studying as like mostly like international law, like in my case, is the first difference that exists in language. Because even if I can speak English and I can understand Russian, there are some terminology that it's kind of difficult to translate or to understand from your native language. Like in my case, it's Spanish, so I have to like make an extra effort to get the accurate meaning of many information, but like it's possible.
In winter, it gets really slippery, so you always fall. So if you fall and nobody helps you, it's because it's really normal to fall.
Funny things have happened to us when we were here, especially with drunk people.
Yeah.
They come, they want to talk, and I think they are really nice, but we haven't had any bad problems with drunk people, and we have enjoyed them. They speak Russian and we try to practice with them.
Every time we go to the city center, people would look at us weirdly, like we were aliens or something. When someone like tries to say like talk to me about something and I don't really understand, I just smile and say yes.
I think at first they have to trust you, and then you will be your friend. That trust is a little bit harder than other countries, but in general we really like Russian people, and I'm really happy with the country I chose to study.
They were nice to me. I had no problem with them. Very good. The best thing in here for me is I'm studying medicine, and the worst thing is the cold.
Best thing for me here is the peace. The worst thing here for me is not so much entertainment in the cold days.
What weather do you consider cold?
Minus 45.
45?
Yeah.
I think the best thing of living here is the opportunity of the cultural exchange, meeting and exchanging every day with people from every country of the world. And I will say that the most difficult part of being here is the winter, because for example for me it was kind of difficult to get adapted because we don't have seasons, we don't have winter, we don't have snow, so it's a huge challenge, but that after the first year it's pretty much easier to face.
The best thing I would say is the summer, and the worst thing I'd say is the winter. The cost here in Academ is just exactly the same as my living costs back in India, 10-12,000 a month here.
Here to live a month it costs maybe around 5,000 rubles, like eating like normal, like not being really fancy about the way of living.
It's not very expensive here, especially compared to Moscow and St. Petersburg. You can live a really good life here with just $200 a month, so it's not that much.
250.
The university, the course is $6,000 per year. There's a dormitory, but it's not that expensive. I think I pay 9,000 rubles per year too. And during 1 month, during my life, daily life, my mom sent me 20,000 rubles, which is more than enough.
I would like to have the chance to stay a little bit longer in Russia to master my Russian language skills, and have the chance to get more acquainted with culture, and maybe working here for a while. It will be a nice chance.
I want to come back to Brazil to do the exam to validate my diploma there. Also thinking maybe going to United States. I don't know, it's too soon to say. Maybe I'll just stay here, I don't know.
After I graduate from here, I'll probably try to find a job in some good company where they require data scientists and artificial intelligence specialists. I will try to be in Europe, I guess, or maybe go back to India and find a job somewhere. And then maybe a few years later I'll try to do a PhD.
I want to stay here for my general course and then go to another country for my specialization.
For general course I'm stay here, but for specialist maybe I go to France.
I want to stay in the US or the UK.
I want to stay in Iran.
We need today is more like a psychologist, because I know psychiatrists, and I know they treat the patients way more as just patients and not as humans as they should. There's a lack of empathy with patients. After I finished my degree, I wanted to do a post-graduation or something in psychology, to embrace more my patients, to not see them just as another patient, but also see them as a human being.
First piece of advice, learn Russian, at least a little bit. You should have good scores, I guess.
To search really well, to be prepared, because in third year we'll be in Russian. There's some people that say that you can come to Russia without speaking any Russian. You can't. You will suffer.
Study Russian before coming here, and of course you have to speak very good English. It's a free country, don't be scared of the cold. That's all.
You have to study hard because this university is hard.
And also open your mind, because Russia, people are really nice, really nice.
I will advise that they should take the opportunity because it's something that really changed you, not only because of the education that you're getting, but also by the experience of living in a very scientific, very academic space like Academic Garadok.